Let's talk about elements, cardinality of the set, and roster form and set builder form of a set. Hello everyone. Here are items found in our first module, specifically on lesson number 1 on introductions to sets. We have here these practice exercises as we considered it to be the pre-break session. So we are going to determine the elements, the cardinality of the set, the roster form, and the set builder form of these given two sets here. So let's start with number 1. Number 1, set B is considered to be the months that end with BER. Before we could draft the roster form and set builder form of this set, we need to consider first determining the elements of this set. When you talk about set of months, or specifically months that end with BER, we just need to determine what are those months that end with BER. And we do have 4. And those are the months of September, October, November, and December. So these are the months that end with BER, and these will also be considered as the elements of the given set. Definitely, there are only 4 here, and we do not need to write other months. Cardinality of the set is considered to be the number of elements in the given set. Again, in number 1 is a set of months that end with BER. And we already have here the elements. We just simply need to count how many are they. So we have September, October, November, and December. So we have 4. That would mean that the cardinality of set B is 4. This is just the process in determining the elements and the cardinality of the set. As we move further, we need to write this set into either the roster form and the set builder form. But wait, you need to remember what are the differences between the two. If we talk about roster form, it's similar to saying the team roster of a basketball team. When you say team roster, we are going to list all players on a specific team. So following that idea, when you say roster form, we just simply need to list the elements. Given already in letter A, we have determined that there are 4 elements of the given set. So we just need to write them formally in a form of a set for us to have our roster form. In the given here, we have determined or is given that that set is considered to be set B. In that case, that is our label here. Set B, and you say here equal to, and then we write the sets. In writing sets, these are the 3 things that you need to consider. Number 1, there should be no more or no less than all elements. And that would mean nothing should be left behind and nothing should be added on that given set. Number 2, it's okay to rearrange the elements as we are just considering the group. So it's okay for us to start with December, November, October, September, or any other way around. Just make sure that there should be no duplication. And finally, we just need to follow the correct notations. For the sets, we simply use the braces. And to separate these elements, simply use a comma. In that case, we just simply need here brace, open brace specifically. And then we write here September, separate by a comma, October, another comma, November, comma, December. Notice that we haven't used the word and, as we are going to leave here the term and, because if we're going to add it here, it might mean that there is a month that starts with end December. So just leave out and. As for that, we just simply need to close it by a close brace. That is how we write roster form. Again, in any order, they are still acceptable as long as no other terms are added or not one of these are left behind. As for our set builder form, we still need to use B as it is the given set. And we are going to generalize. When you talk about set builder form, it is a more generalized type of a form. That is why we often use the notation such like this. This can be read as x such that x. Other references will use colon and then x. Well, they just mean the same thing. But I'm just would like to use this notation here, x such that x. By writing this notation, we are trying to generalize all elements on the given set and call them as 1. Again, we are generalizing all elements of the given set and we are going to call them as 1. When I say 1, the next form of the verb here should be singular, is. This will be read as the set of x such that x is. We're using the singular form of the verb because we are generalizing all elements as one. And what are these elements here? Simply need to use the to copy the statement here stating that x such as x is a month. Again, singular, not months. That ends with ber. This is the statement taken from what is given earlier for a while. A month that ends with ber. That's it. And we enclose it by a close brace. Compare C and D. Look at the differences. C, we are specifically writing the elements as we are using roster form. And letter D, we are generalizing the elements as one. Following the same process, let us proceed to number 2. Number 2 is more focused on the types of numbers. We have here set M as a set is the set of multiples of 3 between 10 and 20. Before we could determine the elements, let's try to review what are multiples. When you say multiples, they are actually the result when a specific number is added to itself many times. Let's start with 2. One of its multiple is 4 because 2 plus 2 is 4. Another is 6 because that's 2 plus 2 plus 2. We added 2 to itself 3 times. We have 6. The other term used to describe multiples, aside from adding a number to itself, is the concept of multiplier. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6, and so on and so forth. So those are multiples. But here specifically for set M, it is a set of multiples of 3 between 10 and 20. So first, let's consider multiples of 3. We do have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. That's 18, sorry. 21, 24, so on and so forth. Because there are infinitely many numbers, definitely there are also infinitely many multiples of 3. But we do have a restriction here. Rather, the restriction is it should be between 10 and 20. Those numbers or those multiples of 3 that are just between 10 and 20. And those are our elements for set M. In this case, 3, 6, and 9 are less than 10, so we remove them, as well as 21, 24, and all the multiples above because they are only until 20. So we are left with 12, 15, and 18, and this would be our elements. Again, we just need to determine the multiples and use the restriction to follow what the set is. And with that, we only have 3 multiples of 3 between 10 and 20, and that is your cardinality. As for its roster form, similar to number 1, simply copy all elements and place them in the notation. Here, we have set M, so we use here set M is equal to open brace, 12, 15, and then 18. That's it, and close it with a close brace. This is our roster form. Again, you may just rearrange them as long as 18 is there, 15 is there, 12 is there, and that no other numbers are added in that given set. For our set builder form, we're just going to generalize them using a singular form of the verb. So we have here the open brace, and then you have this generalization symbol, x such as x. By the way, if you don't like x, since x is the most overused variable in mathematics, you may also use another variable here. Let's say we have y. But make sure if you're going to use y here, the partner for the said generalization symbol should also be y. Do not make it such a way that y such that x. So if it's y, you use also y. That could be read as y such that y, and then generalize is, and simply copy here this statement. But make sure to use the proper subject verb agreement. Is a multiple, not multiples, of 3. It's not enough because if we say multiple of 3, we may include 3, 6, 9, 21, 24, so on and so forth. So make use of the complete given statement between 10 and 20. As I stretch this one, that is already your set builder form. And by the way, other references will use symbolic form in set builder. It's still acceptable as long as logically and mathematically it is correct. As of the moment, this is just the basic way in writing set builder form by using a general statement, and that is we will may accept. So this is the result, or these are the answers for our pre-break session for lesson number 1. Goodbye.